we just landed at a $25.9 million fully off-grid mansion estate.
And then you have a 160-foot tunnel underground.
Ladies and gentlemen, we just landed at a $25.9 million fully off-grid mansion estate up here in the beautiful mountains of Utah, and we're about to give you an exclusive inside look and tour of this insane property. Let's go. So guys, here's the story on this house. It belongs to a guy that I know, and he just put it on the market. And there's been a couple other videos that have gone out of people showing tours of it and things like that. And I thought, man, I really want to go up there and walk through that place before it sells. I've known about this project for a few years now, but it's finally all coming together. It's all being completed, and this place is an absolute masterpiece. So 6 bedrooms, 6.5 baths, 12,377 square feet, sits on about 49.5 acres of land, and it is completely off-grid. It's on-grid and it's off-grid. So basically, you've got your power, you've got water, you've got everything you need right here to be completely self-sustained. And it is like one of the most luxurious, high-end mountain houses that I've ever been in my entire life. Starting with, obviously, the helicopter pad, because if you're gonna own a $26 million mansion up in the mountains, you don't wanna drive there, you wanna fly there. And we were fortunate enough to be able to land on the helicopter pad today and get the ultimate view of the property. Now, if you don't come by helicopter, you can always drive up like the 2-mile-long private blacktop road, but that's literally just the beginning of this masterpiece. Check this out. This property was originally built in the 70s, and it started as one little cabin. Well, that cabin is no longer just one little cabin. It's been added on to and grown and grown and grown into becoming this massive estate. And there are some features here that literally are gonna blow your mind right out of your head, right?
Oh yeah. Underground tunnels, pools. I don't want to spoil all the surprises.
So listen, in order to be off-grid, first thing you gotta have is your own power. That's why they've got a 40 kilowatt solar array. This whole setup right here is beautiful. It's extremely well done, professionally built, fully adjustable panels that you can adjust throughout the year to be able to get the optimal sunlight. So basically the entire house runs on this solar panel. I think they say about 99% of the home's energy comes from that. There is a pool inside which draws a lot of energy, so every once in a while they pull a little bit of power from the grid, but very, very little. And that brings me to my next point. If you lose solar, well then you can automatically go to grid power. If you lose grid power, then you come over here to your emergency backup generator, 56 kilowatt propane generator, which runs off of those 7,000 gallons of propane. This bad boy's gonna run forever with that much fuel. So long story short, you're never gonna be out of power. It's just pretty much impossible, unless your generator goes down, but 7,000 gallons of propane stored underground right here. That means it doesn't freeze, it's safe, and you've got all your little hatches and compartments right there. 7,000 gallons of propane is gonna last you a long, long time. If you're gonna have a solar powered home, you need to have a good solar powered battery bank. That brings us to this room right here. So what you're looking at right here are all the 48 volt batteries that all the solar panels dump their energy into. What you're looking at is roughly the equivalent of 3 Tesla vehicles worth of batteries. And They've designed this so well that they've got a gantry crane that you can slide along here to be able to move the packs in and out, because these packs are monsters. These are big, big batteries. They say that if you lost all power, all solar, all everything, that this bank of batteries would run the house for about a week before running out. That does not include running the pool at the same time, because like I said, the pool consumes a lot of energy. On the other side of this wall, we're gonna show you all of the solar charge controllers, the transfer switch, and the inverters, because the way they wired this, the way they set things up in here is like not only high quality stuff, but the way they laid it out is an actual masterpiece. It literally looks like art. Let's go take a look. So you've got 3 big transfer switches. Right now, on N, that means that the power for the property is all coming from the solar panels. Now, if it goes over to the E, that means that's your emergency backup. So it's either pulling from the grid or from the generator. These are solar charge controllers. Each one of these right now is bringing in, geez, these bad boys are bringing in 18 kilowatts each. That's a lot. So basically these take and trickle power into the big battery bank that's on the other side of this wall. And then when the power is ready to come out of those batteries, it comes through these giant inverters. So it comes in as AC power, goes into the batteries as DC power, comes from the batteries into these as DC, comes out as AC, and that's what powers the house. Another thing you need is water. You can't rely on the city water or anybody else providing you with fresh drinking water. That's why this home has 2 deep water wells, which pump into this complete water treatment station here on one of the garages. It's got over 1,000 gallons of water capacity that can be stored through here, and it goes through reverse osmosis, upside down osmosis, every type of filtration you can possibly think of. It's got UV treatment that kills anything that could possibly be living in the water. So if you're worried about contamination, the water from the well is drinkable straight from the well. But this gives you that extra layer of like protection and security. And like I said, just the way they built it, the way they laid out the canisters, the way they have the piping run. And this is just the beginning of some of the beautiful work that's been done here. Wait till we get down and see the boilers and the heating arrangement, because that, ladies and gentlemen, is gonna blow your mind. So guys, check it out. As you're coming down the driveway, it transitions from asphalt to pavers, my personal favorite. The best part about this is this paver driveway is all heated. Everywhere that you see pavers is heated with radiant heating with big boilers. That means in the wintertime when this place gets like 8 feet of snow, because it does, all this melts right off. One of my favorite parts about this, which is really well thought out, is they installed grass pavers roughly 2 feet off of each side of the driveway. So that means if you accidentally drive off the driveway or you have friends that pull over and not paying attention, normally when you drive a vehicle in soft grass like that, you're gonna get ruts. Well, the grass pavers basically support the weight of the vehicle, so you're not gonna get those nasty grass ruts on the side of the driveway. Now, as you get here and you start taking in the entire estate, you'll notice that right here is basically a guest barn, which has been turned into a garage. It's been turned into a game room, and there's a full living quarters upstairs. In there, they also store the water treatment, the solar batteries, the solar charge controllers. Basically, everything that you need to be off-grid is stored inside that building right there. As you keep moving down the wonderful heated paver driveway, you hit, boom,
Paradise.
Mona Lisa. What do they call it? La pièce de résistance. La pièce de résistance. What?
Crème de la crème.
Pièce de résistance. The way this was built, guys, this is pretty cool. The original building is that far right cabin over there. That was built in the 70s, and it was built using logs and timbers from this canyon right here where it sits. That's pretty cool, meaning that was the original idea behind this giant estate. And then when the new owner bought it, they said, we love it, but we need more room and we want to turn it into more of like a mountain estate. And that's when they took and added on basically everything from that small cabin over is all brand new, but they did it in the same style with the same logs from the same canyon. They matched everything perfectly. As we go inside here, you're gonna see this home tells a story. One of like the best design companies I've ever heard of and that I've ever seen, Bond Design Company. Everything down to like the little like finishing touches in the bathrooms, the wallpaper, all the way to the big layout and the the big like structural changes. That was all thanks to Bond Design Company. And you're gonna see No, literally not a single stone unturned. Everything was thought out. It gives me anxiety seeing all the stuff that they had to make decisions on because it is just, well, you'll see. Let's go take a look.
Welcome to paradise. I said, first stop, the 70s, right? But you'll notice that there's so many details in this house, and he said it tells a story. You've got, built in the 70s, you've got logs that were dated back to the 1600s, and you've got every detail thought of.
We're not a home design channel, but we're a cool stuff channel. We like to showcase and highlight things that are cool and things that are, you know, well thought out and things that are exciting. And what's more exciting than a $25.9 million fully off-grid estate in the beautiful mountains of Utah?
Just gave me the goosebumps.
Right?
You saying I really did get the goosebumps. You saying?
All right, so as you walk in, you can see that this is all brand new. This is kind of the center of the home. If you branch off to this wing over here, you'll see that there's kind of like a walkway. This was intended to connect the old building to the new building, but rather than just making it a hallway, they said, hey, how about we double the size of the kitchen? So everything you're seeing is all kitchen. And the stone that they picked out is some of the best looking countertop material I've ever seen in my entire life. As you can see right here, this is basically where the old cabin begins. This was the old exterior wall. From here on is all brand new. And as you step in here into the main kitchen, you're literally walking into this creative hub, like this beautiful area that was built as like a rustic old cabin that was an old family cabin that is now turned into this huge estate. So you're gonna see old touches like hand-carved logs and things like that. But then you're gonna see things like this, the Blue Star gas range. That is like the best of the best.
Or like this, the waterworks faucet that feels like you're turning on some sort of ancient machine.
That's one of the coolest sinks I've ever seen in my entire life. It's like industrial grade, like it literally feels like you're turning on like industrial hydrants.
I would be here all day.
Yeah, the thing's awesome. From there, you've got like your Wolf steam oven, you've got built-in coffee machine. Apparently, the same company that makes excavators and cranes over in Europe makes refrigerators. So you've got the Liebherr fridge, which is a European model, which is shorter than US models because they had to figure out a way to get it under this giant beam right here. So they just said, hey, we'll bring a fridge straight from Europe. So this kitchen is like an entertainer's dream. It's got all the right stuff to be able to prepare meals, but all the space to be able to have like a huge, you know, family or gathering here. What are you doing? What are you making me? What are we having? Oh, is this the thing where on Peter Pan where you have to pretend?
Good. You're doing it, Peter.
Now the kitchen has obviously been heavily modernized and it doesn't feel as much as the old cabin as the next area that we're gonna go into, which is cool. This, honestly, once you walk past this wall, it feels like you're walking into a tree fort. It's the only way to explain it. It's just cool, it's creative, it's alive, and it is very much a part of history. So check this out. Found every opportunity they could to bring in as much real light as possible. So like right there behind you, what would normally just be a wall is just a giant piece of glass. It's not a door, it's just a giant piece of glass that fills this whole area with daylight. This is one of my favorite spots because you can feel the old family cabin vibe in here. It's warm, it's cozy, it's kind of like all on top of you, but at the same time, they're utilizing the space really well. So you come over here and you've got probably one of the coolest doors I've ever seen. This half, I don't know if it's a French door or what they call it, but it's this half door that you can just kind of leave open and let the breeze come in. You look out here and you've just got like the most unreal view of the valley. So as part of the old cabin, they have this ridiculously cool hand-carved staircase that takes you upstairs to essentially what is the loft. Over here, you have a little game area, right? That's awesome. Great use of the space. Like I said, all the finishings, like all the artwork and everything in here is just so well placed. You come over here and you have one of many really, really cool decks. And this deck, I think originally used to be just a tiny little stoop, and they came and said, nope, we want to use the space really well. Back into the loft, it's going to take you to the master bedroom. Well, one of the master bedrooms, the old master bedroom, because now there's a newer, better master bedroom. And on your way to your room, you can tickle the eagle. All right, so check this out. This is, like I said, the old master bedroom. All these hand-cut timbers just make this place feel so like warm and so alive and so cozy. This right here is a super cool idea. When they wanted to connect the old cabin to the new area, they built this walkway. This is so freaking awesome. Heated floors, right? In fact, the entire property has heated floors. The bathrooms are all electric and the main floor is all radiant.
Talk about the tub.
How great is that?
It's an all stone tub. See, they hauled this in before the windows were in.
Wow.
This is never leaving.
These are finishings that you would find in multi-million-dollar high-end homes in the States, which is obviously what this is. That's bedroom number 1, by the way. Now let's go downstairs and I'll show you bedrooms number 2 and 3. Kind of got like a Jack and Jill vibe down here. The rooms down here, they're not huge, but they're very cozy, and they're the best way to put it, just super cozy, super like comfortable. From here, you go across the hallway to the other bedroom. Dave, your room?
Jack and Jill's? I get Jack's or Jill's?
You're Jill.
Oh, that's fine. I'll be Jill. Yeah, this is my bedroom.
Bedroom number 3 right there. And then between the 2 bedrooms, you've got this really nice bathroom, by the way. This is like, for being like a Jack and Jill bath, this is nice. You've got your tub, you got a big shower, heated floors. This is cool right here for firewood storage, because you do have a wood burning fireplace right there. You've got this old mine cart with the tracks, so you can fill that with wood, and the wood is stored right outside on a covered area again, so you're not getting it covered in snow in the wintertime.
And the antler chandelier.
Antler chandelier.
Chandelier. Oh, I love the 70s. 70s were good to me.
We're gonna time travel out of the 70s and head to basically 2022, which is right here. Now you can feel as we start stepping into this new addition of the house, everything gets bigger. The hallways get bigger. All the spaces get bigger, but at the same time, they're not so big that they're not cozy. Like, it's really hard to have floor to ceiling windows and have a warm feeling still. Somehow they did it. As you're in the living room, it feels like you're like in the mountains because it's all glass. And you've got this easy 180-degree view of your entire backyard and your property. You can look up the canyon, you can look down the canyon. All right, so check it out. As you continue on into the new addition of the house, you've got areas like this, which it's a bathroom, right? Whoop-de-doo. Well, it has like textured wallpaper that feels like you're like in the desert. This type of stuff, I don't even know where you find a sink like that. You know, before we even go in there, I'm gonna take you in here, which is actually probably one of my favorite rooms of the house. This mud room. There's snowmobiling trails straight from this property. So let's say you get home, you pull your snowmobile in the driveway, you tromp here in the mud room, heated floors, stomping snow and everything everywhere, put your clothes and your boots and all the muddy stuff away. And if you need to warm anything up or dry anything off, you've got probably the nicest laundry room I've ever seen. Like, this laundry room is ridiculous. Washers and dryers stacked on top of each other. You've got this giant window to be able to see the entire property, which from here I can see the helicopter pad. I can see just everything. You've got this butcher block countertop, which is really cool. This is the type of stuff that's like, when you first see it, it's almost, you can't even process it. And then you start thinking like, that's a whole butcher block countertop in the laundry room. That's
I could chop up a watermelon on the countertop.
They tell me it's green, I see blue. I don't know what you guys see, but you won't see a lot of these colors in rustic style mountain homes, but they've incorporated this green-blue color really, really well into the cabinets in different spaces. So from there, let's go check out the real master bedroom, which is real master mind-blowing. Hands, you don't have to hide the whole time.
I'm hiding.
No, you're on the tour as well. I don't know if you guys have seen, but Hands has been trying to be sneaky this entire time, but you've caught him in like 19 different shots. So we're just gonna include you. Again, another mini split. You control your own temperature here in the room, which is a really big deal because if you're anything like me, I gotta sleep at like 62 degrees, whereas Diesel Dave has to sleep at 78 degrees.
Not a personal choice.
It's as you can see, this is all, again, hand cut logs. It's all sourced from the canyon right here. We hear, and I'm not sure, I haven't dated this or fact checked it, but they say that these logs, based off of the rings and the cuts, are like maybe 300-400 years old from up the canyon here. Yeah, that's wild. Again, they did a really good job with the windows, floor to ceiling, so there's tons of natural daylight. So even if your lights are off in here, you still have a ton of light. Then you come around here to one of the coolest tubs I've ever seen, all hand formed copper. That is not a cheap tub, and that is not an easy thing to do. So props to whoever built that. Then you've got just this ridiculously nice shower with Waterworks fixtures. If you know anything about high-end homes, you know that Waterworks makes like some of the best fixtures out there. One thing I love about it is it's got this little vent glass right here, so
I didn't even see that.
you can pop that open if it's getting too, like my Ashley, I know for a fact would want that closed because she loves it steamed up. Me, I crack that baby open.
Why?
For my cold showers. That right there, by the way, the shower surround is all one piece of stone, which is incredible.
That is incredible.
That is one giant rock. From there, you come around the corner into the master closet, which is pretty good sized. They did the best with the space that they were working with. It's bigger than most people's. I know that the owner wishes it was bigger, but it's a good size closet.
Above average.
You've got copper sinks. You've got Waterworks fixtures. Well, there's two things I love about the master suite. One, the fireplace. And then two, the office / loft above. I bet you didn't know that you needed a living room on top of your master bedroom, but you do. You just didn't know it until now, because I didn't know it until now. So you've got like this office area, you've got a little bit of kind of a lounge area, and then from here, you've got your choice between going to that private patio, which mirrors and matches the other private patio off the other master bedroom, or this patio, which is probably one of the best views in the property right here. Boom. This gives us an opportunity to talk about what's going on back in the backyard. Now, they're still finishing the landscaping here. I think they said they have another 3 or 4 months worth of landscaping to do, because that pond that you're seeing down there is getting ready to turn into a full-blown like family pond, like it's gonna have picnic tables, pergolas, grass. It's gonna be crystal clear water because they're gonna have filters and bubblers, cleaning the water and filtering it. And then as the water comes down off the mountain, it trickles through a couple of different staging ponds, which collect all the sediment. So when your water gets down to that main pond, it is gonna be crystal clear. Now,
And then all that sediment is going to be primed for like planting gardens and having all the nutrients.
yeah, the way they laid it out was pretty cool. Again, this home is meant to be luxury and nice and big and over the top, but at the same time, it's meant to be thoughtful and use, the natural resources the best way possible, which is why these collection ponds right here basically capture the sediment that comes down off the mountain, and that is some of the most fertile soil you'll find. So you can basically reuse that soil and plant, your gardens and your vegetables, which there's plenty of room for here. So if you're gonna grow your own food, have your own orchard,
You'd never have to leave.
you really wouldn't. The upstairs, the main floor of this place is awesome. And you're probably thinking, wow, that's a really cool property. And they really thought that out really well. Well, wait till we go downstairs, because believe it or not, there's a pool inside this house. Go downstairs, because this is where the creativity really started to get a little crazy. And I know you probably want to go over there and see that mysterious looking blue thing, but we're not going to yet. I'm gonna make you wait, because first, gotta check out the garage. This is the basement also the main garage for the house. You drive around the front roundabout, you come down the side, and bam, you've got this awesome garage, which, by the way, this may not look like a big deal, but a drain like that in the floor on a mountain home that gets tons of snow is awesome, because what you do is you pull your wet, snowy toys in here, park them over the drain, they melt, drains off all the water. Now, I told you earlier that the mechanical systems in this house, the way they built them, are an absolute like work of art. Well, this right here is about to prove that statement. Here you have 4 giant boilers. These boilers are powered by propane and obviously the solar panels, and they control the temperature of the driveway and of the floor of the entire house. Over here, you have your dehumidification system, you've got water softeners, you've got basically all the mechanical stuff, but this is where the plumbers and the utility guys just went a little extra. Like, look at the way, this is not normal. You don't usually see plumbing laid out and looking this sexy. It has no right looking that sexy. It's just sitting there like posing, and I'm here for it. That type of stuff for me, and anybody who's watching this who's like a tradesman or you're into this sort of thing, you're looking at that and you're thinking, yeah, they did a pretty good job there. That's like, they went the extra mile to make sure that that was not only going to work very well, but look amazing, because the owner of this $25.9 million home obviously has very discerning taste, so they weren't going to miss a beat there. So this mechanical room, I love. It's big, it's open, it's ventilated, it's got all the different parts and pieces you need to be able to keep this mountain off-grid home running. And again, you lose power, this stays running. You make all your own water. You have your own fuel in the front yard in the form of 7,000 gallons of propane. You're safe, you're protected, you're off grid. I'm gonna call the boring part compared to the next part of the house. As you meander into the basement, you got another little kind of living lounge area.
Oh no!
Did he really just fall in?
Bad
What
boy.
happened?
What the hell, Hanks?
Did you just trip?
He told me to back up. He's like, you're in the shot. I said,
no.
shot. I didn't say.
Oh no!
Shot, and I walked this way.
Dude, did you just fall in with your phone fully dressed? Hold on. Let's make the most of this. So, if
Tell us
you're
what the pool's like.
if you're just hanging out in the pool / hot tub, this goes up to 104 degrees. What's it at right now?
Probably a cool 80.
Okay, so it's just comfortable. Can you see the screen from there?
Oh yeah, I can see Alan's beautiful face right
So you can watch a show even if you accidentally fall backwards into the pool, which I can't believe just happened. That was fantastic. I feel like every high school friend had a friend who had the hot tub in the basement. Remember how your basement used to get all musky and moldy and nasty because you had a hot tub in your basement? Well, you're not gonna have that problem here because you have a dehumidifier system that vents all the moisture out of this room, and on top of that, you can close this room. So these big sliding glass doors close, and this becomes completely sealed off. So if you do get it warm and you're worried about the moisture and the steam coming in through here, you shouldn't be, because first of all, that extraction system is gonna pull it out. Second of all, you can completely seal it off with these doors. Third, you've got a sliding pool cover to keep the kids and everything safe and also keep the temperature in the hot tub. That's awesome. You got a wet bar right here, which is not just any old wet bar. This is a pretty good sized bar. And then you guys knew this was coming. Sooner or later, we were gonna wiggle a book or tickle a skull or jiggle a nook and find ourselves a secret room. Check this out. So behind that bookcase, you've got all of your AV stuff. You've got 2 giant racks for your speakers, your projector, your cable, all that kind of stuff. But more importantly, you have access to your full-blown panic room. Guys, this is not just a gun vault, okay? This is not just an area where you're gonna keep your guns. However, it does have a lot of storage for a lot of different guns. But what it also has is its own ventilation system. It has its own water. It has a bathroom. So if you are in a bad situation, you close that vault door right there. You got access to all the home cameras, all the home security right there. You're surrounded by 13 inches of double rebar concrete walls, literally head to toe, completely underground, and you're comfortable. You can watch TV, you've got the mini split for the heat or the AC, depending on what time of year you're panicking. And like I said, The storage just goes on and on and on. This is one of the coolest rooms I've ever seen, simply because gun vaults are cool, and I have a gun vault, but I didn't think about putting a bathroom in my gun vault or a fresh air system. Obviously, come back through the bookcase, through Narnia. Oh, got the jets on in the pool slash hot tub. Keep walking down the hallway. Now, right about in here is where the basement of the old cabin begins. Remember, all this is new. When they built the new addition, that's all freshly excavated basement. And then over here, you have the old basement from the old cabin, which they've done a really good job at using the space. And apparently, the owner had a lot of dirty people in the family, because you got a giant 3-head shower. You could bathe 6 full-grown men in there. I don't know why you would do that, but if you, there's 5 of us, so sorry, we're not gonna be able to try it. Another thing they did in this house really well is, typically in a mountain cabin, you wouldn't see beautiful artwork like that. That's more, like I said, like a big mansion, estate in Hollywood type artwork. Well, they have it here too, and it fits the property very well. Over here is probably my favorite room. Well, I've said that about every room so far, but this one really, well, you've got boring bedroom here with the AV guy who's chasing down ghosts. You'll find him, man. And then you've got awesome party bunk bedroom over here, complete with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 beds, and 2 queens, 2 kings, and 3 twins. This is the ultimate, like, have the ultimate sleepover, have all the kids in here and just turn them loose and let them do their thing. Love this. You'd think, like, as a basement, you know, bathroom or a bedroom, you're not gonna put that much thought into like the decor. Well, that's where you're wrong, because they went ham. Like on this tile and the fuzzy wallpaper, you've got the sink and the toilet there, and then you've got storage closet with all the games and everything like that. So that is all of the bedrooms in the house. We counted 6 plus 6.5 bathrooms. If you're ready for things to get really interesting, I got something else I want to show you. It's not another secret room though. So what do we have here? Well, we have just basically like another laundry room, right? You got your washing machines, you've got your storage, you've got, you know, a nice bench area to fold your clothes. And then you have a 160-foot tunnel underground to the other building. How freaking cool is this? Yeah. So guys, check this out. This is probably one of the coolest features of the entire property. The fact that they connected, remember there's a barn in front of the main house. Well, this connects the two, and it is underground, and it's like probably 50 degrees in here. It's the perfect temperature, and it is very well laid out and trimmed out. This doesn't smell like dirt. It doesn't smell like you're like underground or in a basement. So this tunnel is actually built out of solid concrete blocks. So it's not just a bunch of dirt above us. It's, you know, formed up concrete, and it's watertight, it's airtight.
Is this where we go to Narnia?
Pretty sure we just left Narnia. So now we are in the building across from the main building. This is basically the barn guest house. Now we're gonna go up and show you the actual living quarters slash game room slash event room. Up here, you've got a bar, you've got a pool table, you've got a closet with a bunch of storage space over there. You've got a full bathroom up here. So again, this is what makes it livable. Bathroom with a shower. So you have friends, family, guests over.
So basically this is another bedroom.
Basically another bedroom, but a big bedroom. But if you don't have guests over, then you can just use it as an entertaining space, or if you don't have people staying here. And
Who stacks the cookies?
I don't know, but it comes with freshly stacked
Cookie Monster.
peanut butter cookies.
Those
Oh my god.
look soft. It's soft?
So obviously this space is really cool. You can use it for a number of different things, like I said, including having guests sleep here. One thing you guys have noticed by now is the owner of this property really, really liked decks, outdoor deck space with big, thick cut timbers, posts. This right here is almost the exact same footprint as the building that it's attached to, which means it's really big. So another spot where you can kind of hang out. You can have a ton of people here. It doesn't feel crowded. It doesn't feel like, you know, you're cramped up. You got views of the valley all around you. You got views of the main house, which if you just take a step back real quick and look at that house and the fact that they were able to make it look symmetrical, even though none of that existed. It was only just that one little building over there. It was a very ambitious project. In my opinion, based off of the tour here, it's worth every penny because you're not gonna find a property like this anywhere else. And you're not gonna find something that's fully contained and fully self-sustainable off-grid. Just not. I mean, not of this caliber. There's lots of properties on the market, don't get me wrong. There's a lot of places that are fully off-grid, but there's not a lot of places that are fully off-grid where you could be this comfortable with this type of luxury and this type of just sprawling space. But we're not done yet. So another thing about the property that obviously a high-end property like this would have to have is lots of security. That's why there's 50 different surveillance cameras all over the property, and they provide you with a 360-degree view of every single area. So like right there, that one corner has like 4 different cameras on it, and you can see everything from wall to wall. There's no blind spots. Then down here, you have, this is the bottom of the guest barn. You know, remember upstairs, there's an entertaining area plus living quarters. And then you have this awesome garage, which the way they did this is so freaking cool. You can drive in one and out the other. This is perfect for, like I said, snowmobiles, toys, things like that. It's got the floor drain. This is the perfect toy barn, or it's also more room for guests because you've got washer and dryer. So if the guests upstairs need a place to do their laundry, bam, you've got it right there. And it's a pretty good sized space right here. This is a big garage. To be like just an extra bonus garage, it's pretty good sized. That's pretty much it for the interior of the house. But what I want to do now is take you around the backyard and show you, well, the backyard, the side yard, the front yard, everything. All the yard space here was designed specifically for entertaining, whether it's your small little family or you've got a huge event, it's covered. Solar panels over there have natural grass growing under them. There's a full irrigation and sprinkler system over there, so you can keep that area lush and green. You can trim it, you can mow it down, but it's not like this regular grass where you have to maintain it as heavily. You got little walkways going through the forested areas. It's one thing they did a good job at when they built this is keeping a lot of the natural vegetation, because one big problem with building a massive estate is typically you come in and you doze the whole thing over and then you have none of the natural original vegetation. Well, here you have the natural aspen trees. You've got pine trees. I think some of the pine trees were imported. Some of them were original to the property. I know that this horseshoe pit was not original to the property, but it was a great addition.
I don't want to brag, but I feel like I'm the best horseshoe player in our group.
No,
I don't know if we have any actual way to prove that. Like I told you before, this was the entrance to the old cabin. Now this is basically just a side door. But what's cool about it is, again, you got firewood storage there, keep it all dry. You got firewood storage here. And then you have the beginning of what I believe is one of the largest back decks I have ever seen. Look at this thing. It goes on and on and on and on. Almost the entire length of the back of the house. You know what's cool about this right here? This is the open flame fire pit. They're super rare because open flames up here aren't allowed. This one is gas powered and it was grandfathered in. Super rare, super valuable for the property. Over here, you got an in-ground trampoline. Over there, you have a vault with power, gas, everything you need to be able to install a infinity style hot tub flowing off the wall into your pond. Owner hasn't put that in yet, but I know that was part of their plans. They may or may not do it, depending on if and when the property sells, which, by the way, the property is currently on the market. And I realize that 99.999% of you aren't in the market for a $25.9 million home, but somebody out there might see this and be like, I gotta have that. I know there's been a couple other videos that got posted about this place and it's drummed up some serious interest. I wish I had $25.9 million to buy the place because it's awesome. It's in my backyard, I love it. On the section, the middle living room of the new section they built on, that is the chimney, right? Well, if you're gonna build a chimney, you might as well be able to use a fireplace on both sides. The indoor fireplace is on the back side of that. And then out here, you got an outdoor fireplace. That's actually a really great use of the chimney space. Here, you have a retaining wall that has a staircase that goes down to the new pond section that they're building. Again, right now the landscaping isn't quite done, but when it is done later this summer, that pond is going to be something that anybody could swim in. You'll have a staircase that goes all the way down there, picnic, patio, pergolas, grass, everything. One thing that's kind of crazy about this house is when you're inside, the backyard doesn't seem that huge. Once you get back here, the backyard is freaking enormous. It goes on forever.
You could throw the pigskin around with your clicky cousins back here.
You've got the patio that comes off of the new master bedroom, and then it just keeps on wrapping around and around. The way they designed the deck space on this house was really smart. They made use of pretty much the entire perimeter of the house. Then you come down here, and it just keeps going to that lower garage that we showed you earlier. Remember, this is all heated, all retained by these big blocks. Those blocks, they're cement, but the owner had an artist come in and paint them to make them look natural. And somehow they made it look like there's actual moss growing on them. Did a really good job. This is the basement garage. If you go straight in there, then you're gonna be in that basement living room, basement pool, all that. And then you can pull out and get right back out to the roundabout driveway. That, ladies and gentlemen, pretty much does it for the inside and the outside of this property. We probably didn't do a really great job of showing you all the little details, but hopefully in this video you got an idea of just how big and how well thought out this place is. Now, as you can see, we just did a full lap around the entire house, through the backyard, through the side yard, up the side driveway, and we're back in this beautiful roundabout front entry, which that entry's stunning. They did a good job. When you pull up, you feel like you're pulling up to like the, chateau up in a mountain, like a mountain hotel or something like that. It feels very almost commercial, but not quite so big that it's like unwelcoming. It just feels warm and cozy.
The nice thing is you do one tour, you got your steps in for the day.
Yeah, I am definitely a little bit winded.
A couple miles.
So guys, that's it. That is a $25.9 million fully off-grid mansion estate. And if you're interested, which I don't think there's a huge market for a home like this, but there's somebody out there who may want this. The realtor on this is Thomas Wright with Sotheby's. We're going to put all of his information in the link below. If you're interested in checking out the property, seeing it, have any questions, hit him up. Great guy, has done a great job with this listing. My friend who built the place, super proud of the work that they did. Bond Design Company, the interior design work here is just mind-blowing, and the fact that they were able to make old and new like meet and just still be warm and cozy and nice for a family. It's one of my favorite houses I've ever been to. With that said, we gotta head over to the helipad, remember, because the house has a helipad, and get the hell out of here.